I'm so excited about it. I'm just like, I know it's going to be fun to plan, because I think the only stressful weddings are the ones where you have a small amount and people are on the bubble.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And you have to evaluate or assess your relationship with them.
You know how with Taylor Swift, nothing is ever simple? It's never just, I got engaged, and that's the end of it. There's always a story, a hidden clue, a perfectly placed breadcrumb trail for fans to follow. And as she glides through late 2025, promoting the life of a showgirl, Taylor's been dropping wedding hints like Easter eggs, some obvious, some whispered between the lines, and some that feel almost like beautiful accidents. If you look closely, she's crafting a public fairy tale, an outline of her wedding without ever handing over the full script. And of course, it all began with the proposal, because Taylor made sure that part of the story shimmered. On the Graham Norton show, she revealed that Travis didn't just get down on one knee in some casual spur-of-the-moment moment. Nope. While she was recording his podcast, he was secretly transforming his backyard into a dreamscape. Think cascading florals, lush hedges, hidden photographers, and soft glowing lights. She called it a 10 out of 10, admitting he absolutely crushed it. That enchanted garden became the centerpiece of their engagement legend, a story destined for the Swiftian Hall of Fame. But true to form, Taylor reminded us that not everything is for the public. Some pieces of that moment, she said softly, will always be ours.
Figure out ways to make sure that I do have things that are just between us. And thankfully we do have a lot of those things. And that moment in particular is one that's always just going to be.
That balance, sharing just enough while guarding the rest, has become Taylor's golden rule in the wedding hint game. And naturally, after the proposal, the next stop on the fairy tale trail is the ring. Because with Taylor Swift, there's always symbolism, always a story wrapped in sparkle. On The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, she finally pulled back the curtain on the design. Turns out Travis had the ring tucked away for months before he even proposed, because he'd secretly built it around a jeweler Taylor once gushed over. Her name? Kindred Lubick of Artifacts Fine Jewelry, a tiny detail Taylor had casually mentioned to him once, and he never forgot. She admitted she still can't stop staring at it, glancing down mid-interview, smiling to herself. I look at it constantly, she confessed. And honestly, who wouldn't? It's not just a ring. It's a love story set in stone.
A lot of work into that one. Huh?
He did. He did, and he had it for a really long time before he gave it to me too.
He did?
Custom did this and designed it with this amazing jeweler who he made it with.
It's gorgeous. Even the sides are beautiful.
I know. I know. I look at it constantly.
Sometimes she even gives fans a little preview of what's next. During that same Tonight Show appearance, Taylor casually stacked 2 diamond eternity bands beside her engagement ring. It wasn't just jewelry, it was symbolism. A soft, sparkling hint that she's already easing into that next chapter, subtly shifting from fiancé to future missus. It's classic Taylor, turning accessories into a narrative, letting her rings tell the love story, one glittering detail at a time.
Oh my Lord, can we look just at the thing?
Back in London, the rumor mill started buzzing again, this time straight from the airwaves. On BBC Radio 1 with Greg James, one of her favorite interview spots, Taylor dropped a surprise that sent fans spiraling. In the middle of their chat, Greg jokingly asked, "So, am I invited to the wedding?" Without missing a beat, Taylor smiled and said, "Obviously." Just like that, the internet lit up. It wasn't a press release. It wasn't a formal announcement. It was pure Taylor. Effortless, playful, and perfectly timed. A single word that said everything without saying anything at all.
That he's going to do that as soon as he sees you at our wedding is that's gonna happen. He's just gonna.
Whoa.
Oh, did I?
Am I coming?
Obviously.
It was lighthearted and full of warmth. Classic Taylor charm. but also another subtle sign that she's blending her private world with her public one. Even her friends in the spotlight are becoming part of the fairy tale she's quietly building. Greg, ever the curious one, tried to dig a little deeper. "So, destination wedding?" he teased. Taylor just laughed, gave that knowing smile, and sidestepped like a pro. No confirmation, no denial, just that glimmer in her eye that said, "If you know, you know."
A destination wedding?
People don't think that we're actually
She also slipped in a bit of nostalgia, reminding Greg and everyone listening of their old inside jokes, like the time he once teased that she needed to have a shower during one of her festival sets. Instead of brushing it off, Taylor laughed and assured him and the audience that she was never offended. It was classic Swift, graceful, witty, and just self-aware enough to turn an awkward old joke into a charming reminder of how far she's come.
Remember when you were like joking with me at the show we did about being sweaty and people thought that it was like a greatly offensive.
Taylor didn't stop there. Oh no, she went full takeover mode. On her album launch morning, she practically owned UK radio, hopping from Heart Breakfast to Magic Radio Breakfast with Gowan and Harriet Scott, then over to Capital Breakfast, Hits Radio, and beyond. Each stop was a masterclass in Swift-style multitasking. Part wedding whispers, part album deep dive, sprinkled with baking stories and thoughtful reflections on her career. On Magic Radio, she explained why she premiered The Life of a Showgirl in cinemas, wanting fans to experience the behind-the-scenes magic through commentary, visuals, and storytelling. In the same breath, she mentioned Travis's favorite track, Opal Light, revealing that every gemstone, every metaphor on the album was chosen with intention. Then came Capital Breakfast, where she charmed hosts talking about British humor, friendships, and how her time in the UK shaped her personally and creatively. It wasn't all wedding this, wedding that, but every interview had a trace of that Travis effect, reminding everyone that he's deeply woven into her current era. And finally, on BBC Radio 2 with Scott Mills, Taylor didn't drop any explosive wedding bombshells, but she did deliver one powerful line. When asked if marriage might mean stepping back from music, she didn't hesitate. She called the idea shockingly offensive.
Shockingly offensive thing to say.
Absolutely. It is not the last
That's
album.
not why people get married.
No, exactly.
So that they can
That's
quit
a whole
their job.
She leaned into the idea that creativity, performance, and partnership can all thrive side by side, that building a marriage doesn't mean dimming her spotlight. Taylor painted a picture of balance, of finding rhythm between love and ambition. She shared how The Life of a Showgirl was born mid-chaos, scribbled between flights, written in hotel rooms, and crafted while she was still deep in the Era store. She laughed about hopping flights between stadiums in Sweden just to carve out quiet moments to write. And then, almost softly, she admitted that all this wedding talk only started now, because for the first time, marriage feels not just possible, but right. Then came her Late Night with Seth Meyers appearance, where she served up one of her most endearing Travis stories yet. Apparently, during one of her shows, he completely mixed up a celebrity moment, mistaking Anna Eberstein for Greta Gerwig. Taylor couldn't help but laugh as she told it. It was funny, awkward, so human, a perfect peek into their offstage chemistry.
You didn't mention Greta. Did you meet Greta? And he's like, yeah, and I was like, okay, well, what did you say? He was like, well, I walked up to her and I was like, I love Barbie. I'm seeing all over the internet is just videos of Travis dancing with Greta all night, like they're best friends. Travis, here's a video of you with Greta. It feels like she thought the joke was funny. He goes, oh, that's not Greta.
On Late Night with Seth Meyers, Taylor didn't just charm the crowd, she gave fans another breadcrumb. With a smile, she admitted, yeah, it's about time I start poking around the wedding details, but invitations aren't in the toolkit just yet. It was a classic Swift move. Open, self-aware, but still holding the cards close. She's pacing herself, building the fairy tale one deliberate step at a time. Of course, no Taylor era comes without the rumor mill spinning. The latest? That marriage might somehow end her career. She sweated that down more than once, saying, in essence, just because you tie the knot doesn't mean you untie your dreams. If anything, she insists she feels more alive, more creative, and more inspired than ever. And she's proven it. Not just with words, but with symbols. Fans have noticed she's been wearing more than her engagement ring. On The Tonight Show, those stacked diamond bands beside her main ring sent a clear message. She's already embracing that married energy. Then came her Graham Norton Show appearance, the most revealing of them all. She brought back the now iconic Secret Garden proposal story, showed off the ring up close, and called the whole moment magical and thoughtful. But perhaps the biggest reveal? The wedding won't be small. Taylor confessed she's not into bubble weddings where everyone's anxious about who made the cut. She wants something inclusive, joyful, and uncomplicated. Small events stress me out, she said. And honestly, only Taylor Swift could make honesty about stress sound like the blueprint for a once-in-a-lifetime celebration.
You know, I'm so excited about it. I'm just like, I know it's going to be fun to plan. Because I think the only stressful weddings are the ones where you have a small amount and people are on the bubble.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And you have to evaluate or assess your relationship with them.
When Graham Norton leaned in and asked the question everyone wanted answered, so, is the wedding happening next year? Taylor gave that trademark mischievous smile and simply said, "Oh, you'll know." The crowd erupted, of course, and when Graham joked, "She must be going big if she's inviting me," Taylor laughed and clarified that yes, she really is planning to invite him. It was playful, effortless, and perfectly her, keeping the mystery alive while giving just enough away to keep everyone hooked. But beneath the teasing, she made one thing clear: the music comes first. Taylor explained that she's laser-focused on finishing her album work before diving into wedding planning. In true Swift fashion, she's making sure every chapter unfolds in its own time. Art first, then I'll.
You're going big.
I just mean that I was going to invite you to it. I just am doing the album thing now, which is a big thing.
Yes.
And then I think the wedding is what happens after that.
All these interviews, late night talk shows, radio drop-ins, and surprise cameos have started to blend into one beautifully curated tapestry. Each thread tells part of the story. The proposal, a secret garden, hidden photographers, pure intention. The ring, carefully planned, deeply meaningful, designed with love in memory. The guest list, open, inclusive, thoughtful, featuring familiar names like Greg James and Graham Norton. The timeline, not rushed, not performative. It's music first, marriage when it feels right. And the tone, playful, romantic, but with boundaries. This isn't just another celebrity wedding, it's Taylor Swift's wedding story. Public, yes, but still hers. She's given us just enough to feel the heartbeat of it, the rough sketches of what's to come. We don't know the date, the dress, or the vows, but we can feel the romance, the precision, the artistry behind every reveal. Because for Taylor, even love is a craft. The story is the art, and she's still writing. Now, let's lean into the fan theories, the fun, speculative ones that feel almost too perfectly Swiftian to ignore. Prediction 1, a destination garden wedding. Given that Travis proposed in a transformed garden paradise, and considering her subtle nods to location and escape, it feels almost certain the wedding will take place outdoors, lush, romantic, maybe even abroad. England, Ireland, Italy. She's hinted around all three, never confirmed it, just danced near the idea, like a lyric waiting for its bridge. Prediction 2, opalite as the first dance. This one feels practically written in stone, literally. The song's title ties to his birthstone, and she's called it his favorite track. It's emotional, glowing, full of symbolism. Whether it's the first dance or the emotional centerpiece of the night, opalite feels destined to soundtrack their love story. Prediction 3, a surprise performance by Ed Sheeran. Fans are betting big on this one, and honestly it tracks. Taylor has hinted more than once that Ed is the wedding guy, the one people always ask to perform at their ceremonies. Combine that with their long friendship and shared musical DNA, and you can practically see Ed stepping on stage, guitar in hand, under twinkle lights. Prediction 4, no bubble invitations. Taylor's already said it. She's not doing the anxious, exclusive guest list where everyone's wondering if they made the cut. Expect something open-hearted and welcoming, a reflection of her current era of connection. She might even invite figures from outside her inner circle, people like Greg James or Graham Norton, as a statement. This won't be a wedding for optics. It'll be a celebration of everyone she genuinely values. Prediction 5, a ceremony split between private and public. This one feels inevitable. Taylor has mastered the art of giving us access without exposure. We can easily picture a ceremony that blends spectacle and secrecy. Public photos, cinematic moments, maybe a filmed glimpse, but with the most intimate vows saved for off-camera, whispered between her and Travis alone. And through it all, the life of a showgirl will be echoing in the background. Its lyrics, its imagery, its soul. Fans will undoubtedly treat the album like a secret companion to the wedding itself. Let's just hope the playlist skips over that one sensual song about wood, because even for Taylor, there are some metaphors better left off the dance floor. Fans will, of course, do what they always do best, dissect every line, searching for secret dates, hidden meanings, and those little winks to moments she's dropped in interviews. That's the magic of being a Taylor Swift fan. It's never just a song, it's a scavenger hunt of emotion. And sure, at first the idea of inviting radio and talk show hosts to her wedding might sound a little unconventional, but in Taylor's world, those people aren't just interviewers, they're part of her story. Greg James, for instance, has been there for years, a recurring voice in her timeline. So when she says, "You'll know at a different time," it's not just a brush off, it's a pause, a breadcrumb, a little cinematic beat designed to linger. And the boundary she sets, that's pure Taylor mastery. She lets us see the outline, never the interior. The ring, the garden, the guest list, yes. But the vows, the tears, the private toasts, those stay behind the curtain. She's not shutting us out. She's directing the story, making sure the drama unfolds on her terms. If this were a film, we'd say we're right in the middle of the revelation arc. First the proposal, then the ring, then the invite hints, then the rumors, then the fan theories, and finally, the wedding. It's all building toward a crescendo, and Taylor, ever the showrunner of her own mythology, isn't rushing a thing. She's letting the anticipation simmer, each reveal timed like a verse before the chorus. So Swifties, keep your ears open. There will be more radio moments, more accidental mentions, more lyrical clues tucked between lines. She's already mapped out the path. All we have to do is walk it with her. That's all for this video, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, when she finally says, "You'll know," we really will.